What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90, and it is time for the Champions League round of 16. We've had the new league phase, we've had the playoffs, and now, as we all know and love, we have a road to the final with the remaining 16 teams. Thank you so much for 32,000 subscribers on the channel. If you are new here, if you would like your football predictions and you've just forgotten to subscribe, then be sure to click sub down below. And whilst you're down there, let me know your predictions as well, because there's going to be some very exciting ties today. And I think I've actually got teams winning in the first leg who I don't even think will actually qualify through to the quarterfinals. So let me know your predictions down in the comments below. Here are the winning accumulators we had since the last episode. We had the heavy hitters 6 winners, 6-fold up there. Love that. The Bundesliga high odds away days winners 4-fold. That was using all my predictions from the Bundesliga video. I thought, especially Hoffenheim, I highlighted that in my Bundesliga prediction video, that odds of nearly 3 for them to win was just way too high. We also had Bayern Leverkusen and both teams to score in the Bundesliga video as well, and Gladbach to win and Dortmund to win as well, 2-0. We predicted that, so a very good week in the Bundesliga. I didn't do an FA Cup video, but of course on the Patreon I can do other leagues. We had the FA Cup underdog double where I predicted Brighton and Fulham as underdogs away from home not to lose and both teams to score, and both games ended 1-1 in regular time, with both teams actually progressing, Brighton in extra time and Fulham after penalties. We had a couple of Premier League trebles, as you can see right here. We had the League winners treble, we had a Dutch treble, Premier League over 2.5 goals double, and there is the correct score record for you there. Flashing up on the screen are all of the people that are supporting me over on the Patreon. If you want to do that, you can click the first link in the description. You get a shout out in every single video. You get access to those exclusive members tips and accumulators. I was really close to a 70-1 result on both teams to score winners treble the other day. We had Roma, we had Bologna and AC Milan to win and both teams to score. Roma and Bologna won 2-1, but AC Milan lost 2-1, and yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was frustrating, but it is what it is. So if you want to shout out, if you want exclusive members tips and accumulators and direct messaging access to me, then click the Patreon link in the description and join up. But first of all, the Champions League. It is a very intriguing fixture first up. It's Club Brugge up against Aston Villa. Now, whether it's surprising to you or not, Aston Villa are still currently fighting on 3 fronts. They progressed past Cardiff in the FA Cup. They're still vying for as high a spot as possible in the Premier League. And of course, they have the Champions League as well. So you can't underestimate Club Brugge. They did away with Atalanta in the previous round. So I think at home, at the very least, Club Brugge are going to take something from this game, and it's going to be decided, in my opinion, at Villa Park. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, and the tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.75. I think that's pretty good odds. I think Villa should get on the score sheet, but Club Brugge could absolutely win this. I'm not saying Club Brugge would qualify. I think it would take a real brave person to predict Brugge getting past Villa, but it's definitely possible. Now, after this, a very intriguing fixture. It's Borussia Dortmund up against Lille. Now, Dortmund, they're sort of like Jekyll and Hyde with home form versus away form. They did get the 2-0 win last week in the Bundesliga that we predicted. I just don't know how well they're going to travel in the Champions League. However, they are at home this time, so I'm going to say that Borussia Dortmund shade it 2-1, but again, the tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.75. And this mainly is the one where I think Borussia Dortmund could win the first leg and then actually go out in the second leg against Lille. It could happen. Maybe Dortmund with that 2-0 win as well, and with a win here, they, turn their fortunes around at just the right time with regards to the Champions League, and they've had some very good results in the competition this season so far, particularly that demolition of Sporting and of course Celtic as well. So maybe Dortmund do qualify, but something tells me Lille can at the very least win one of the legs. Whether or not that'll be enough to go through, I'm not sure. Maybe it'll be a Dortmund win and a Lille win, and then it goes to extra time and penalties. I don't know, but I'm going to go Dortmund to win 2-1. The tip will be both teams to score at 1.75. Now, after this, it's PSV up against Arsenal. PSV are absolutely bottling the Eredivisie. They were miles out in front. They were one of the teams in Europe to have the longest unbeaten run in the league. They were, I don't know quite how high the points gap was, but they were so far ahead of everyone. And now, I don't think they've won in the last 4 games in the league, and Ajax have opened up like an 8-point gap at the top over them when PSV were seemingly going out of sight. So not only are they not top of the league, they are 8 points behind Ajax at the time of recording. So what looked like a done deal for the league is now thrown into question. And they have Arsenal, who also themselves have thrown away the Premier League. They're not going to win the Premier League this season. It's all about the Champions League. And to be honest, as an Arsenal fan, even though I would say they've got the harder side of the bracket, you know, if they beat PSV, they're probably going to go on to face Real Madrid and then possibly Liverpool or PSG and then the final as well. So there's no easy game for Arsenal in the Champions League. But with regards to focusing it, I guess you could say, I mean, if you win, especially if they win the Champions League, you could say it's been good that they're sort of out of a title race so early, because it's not like they're fighting on multiple fronts. They're out of the FA Cup. They're obviously not in the Carabao Cup final. They're not going to win the Premier League. They're probably going to make top 4, right? So all it is the Champions League. So I think that lends itself quite well to Arsenal progressing here. I think it's going to be close. I thought about a draw. I'm just going to go for a 1-0 win to Arsenal, and the tip is going to be under 2.5 goals at 1.8. This isn't so much me writing off PSV as much as it looks. It's just they haven't been in a good spot recently. And, you know, Arsenal have battered PSV in recent years in Europe. So I'm going to go for an Arsenal win, 1-0, under 2.5 goals. After this, it's Real Madrid up against Atletico Madrid. And I do think Real are going to win. They lost to Real Betis at the weekend 2-1. Atletico Madrid beat Athletic Bilbao 1-0. So they jumped Real in the La Liga table. A really exciting 3-horse title race there. But I do think Real Madrid are going to win this one and ultimately qualify. However, if there was any team in the Champions League left that I think would give Real Madrid a good game and a good tie and possibly knock them out, it's not Bayern Munich, it's not Inter Milan, it's not Liverpool, it's Atletico Madrid. I think they are the most likely team to be able to knock Real Madrid out. So maybe Barcelona as well. It's just that Spanish rivalry, knowing each other, it adds a bit of spice. And even though Atletico Madrid aren't as good as Real Madrid, I think they have a decent chance. However, I'm going to go Real Madrid to win 2-1, and the tip is going to be Real Madrid to win at 1.9. I think at the Bernabeu, they just look good for a win. This isn't to say that this could be 2-1, and Atletico Madrid could get a scrappy 1-0 away win in the second leg and take it to extra time penalties, that sort of thing. But I think Real Madrid will win this one. After this, it's Feyenoord up against Inter Milan. Inter Milan, one of the dark horses, I think, to really go under the radar and possibly go all the way. They've got a favourable side of the bracket, and I think they're going to win this one. And similarly, I think they're going to win the home leg as well. So I think we tipped, what was it, Inter Milan, was it Inter and Napoli? I said 1-1. I think I said 1-1 on the Patreon, and I think it was 1-1. And I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Inter, and the tip will be Inter Milan to win at 1.6. After this, it's Benfica up against Barcelona. We had the insane 5-4 Barcelona win in the league stage, and I think we could see more of the same here. Benfica aren't going to take this lying down. You know, they're going to go for it. They're going to try and score goals, and they're going to try and establish a lead in this first leg. I think, however, that might hurt them. Barcelona just came off of a massive 4-0 win against Sociedad. I'm going to go for a 3-2 Barcelona win, and the tip is Barcelona and both teams to score at 2.87. After this, we have Bayern Munich up against Bayer Leverkusen, and this is another game. It's just German teams, apparently, where I could see Bayern Munich winning this first leg, right? But then I could see them losing the second leg, and who knows where we go from there. My initial gut reaction to this first leg was a draw, but I've just shaded it to Bayern 2-1. And the tip is going to be both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. I think it's going to be real close. Could even be 1-1. I just think Bayer Leverkusen have sort of got Munich's number when it comes to head-to-head, even if they're kind of dropping behind in terms of the league table. I think Leverkusen could give Bayern a real game here, but I'm just going to shade it to Bayern Munich 2-1. And after this, it is, I think, in my opinion, probably the game of the week. It's PSG up against Liverpool. This PSG team is absolutely electric. It's phenomenal. They've got Barcola, they've got Kvaratskhelia from the January transfer window. Business, of course. I think PSG can win this one. I don't know if they're going to progress through, but other than maybe Real Madrid, I like PSG to give Liverpool their best game in the round of 16. I think this is a brilliant matchup, and I think Liverpool will have it all to do at Anfield, and I think following that they will do it at Anfield. How do you go against Liverpool and Mohamed Salah this season? Very difficult. So for the tie, I think Liverpool could definitely qualify, and there may be something to be said for a little bet builder of PSG to win the first leg and Liverpool to qualify. So for the first leg at the Parc des Princes, I'm going to go for a PSG 2-1 win. And my tip is going to be PSG double chance and both teams to score. Liverpool could absolutely win, but I just think PSG are such an exciting side, and I think they can get the win here. I really do. So I'm going to go PSG 2, Liverpool 1. So that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. I'd love to read them, and I will see you in the next video very soon.